guys, I hope you're all well. Today I'm going to talk about a topic that I feel like I bring up all the time on my social media and videos. Pretty much anything kind of pregnancy related, I talk about this, and that is SPD. SPD is symphysis pubis dysfunction, which sounds pretty gross, but it's not. Basically, when you're pregnant, your body produces a lot of the hormone relaxin, which is to soften your ligaments to make it easier for baby to come out. But sometimes during pregnancy, your body overproduces this, and that's when you get symphysis pubis dysfunction, SPD. So the symphysis pubis is the joint where your pubic bones meet at the front of your pelvis, and it's where that has become less stable. So this isn't something that happens all the time. You know, normally our bodies can kind of adapt to it and are flexible and just move with the ligaments. But for some women, our bodies just become over flexible, and that's how it happens. So this extra flexibility isn't a normal thing. I'm not saying flexibility is and you can suddenly do the splits. I just mean your pelvis kind of separating a little bit more than it normally would. It's not the normal thing. Normally our bodies can just adapt to the extra movement. But it can happen for a number of reasons. For example, our muscles around the area not working properly, a misalignment of the joints. It could be a knock-on effect if you've had an injury. You are more likely to have it if you have your children quite close between. So there's 2.5 years between, well, there will be when this one is born. So there will be 18 months between when Jasper was born and when I fell pregnant with this baby. So I think they do say it's normally around 3 years your body needs to kind of completely get back to its normal self. So that might be my reason. Yeah, it could be due to an injury. It could be if you suffer from hypermobility, if you have a high BMI. There are loads of different reasons. So it's nothing that you've necessarily done or are doing wrong. Some people are just unlucky that way. So SPD affects people in loads and loads of different ways. In my case, it feels like I've been kicked between the legs. I think I'm very fortunate compared to some, because I've had stories of people that have to be in wheelchairs, they have to be on crutches because physically walking is just far too painful. For me, day-to-day living, like day-to-day getting around isn't too bad, but it's when I've been laying down, like if I've been sat down driving for a long time, if I've been carrying heavy things like carrying Jasper or shopping bags, pushing the trolley, things like that, like quite strenuous things, hoovering, I would say mowing the lawn, but I don't do that. Yeah, things like that, those are what affect me personally, but everyone is completely different. I'll say to someone I've got SPD and they'll go, oh my God, you poor thing, yeah, my friend was in a wheelchair, and I'm like, oh, actually mine's not as bad as that. And some people just get the odd twinges every now and again. Some people it could last for the whole pregnancy, and it can go on to last after you've given birth for months, even years. Other people it could just affect them for a week during the pregnancy. For me, it started around 20 weeks, I think. I have written blog posts about it, one on my experience and one on a load of tips, so I'll link them below and there's more details in those. Yeah, it started around 20 weeks and I would have, you know, the odd week of no pain whatsoever, and I'd be like, oh, it's gone now, and then it would come back. Some days it's worse than other days. It's not particularly consistent, but I feel like I have to be consistent in how I deal with it and how I avoid it, because I've had it at its worst for me, and yeah, I would rather avoid that at all costs. So there's no particular cure for SPD. It's not one of those one-size-fits-all things where you can just take some medication or do a particular exercise and it's gone. It's so different for everyone, and it's more a case of relieving the pains, kind of adjusting your body and your lifestyle to cope with them and to try and avoid having them. So yeah, unfortunately, if you're looking for a cure, there isn't one, but there are lots and lots of ways that it can be made a lot easier. Some people will just do a couple of exercises, use a couple of pieces of equipment, and they're fine. Like, they don't feel the pain at all, whereas other people, you know, I've had to try quite a few different things for it to help. And then for other people, they could try a million things and they just don't work for them. So it's all about trying different things, trial and error, and picking what works for you, what hopefully works for you. So this video has gotten a little bit longer than I expected, so I'm going to split it into two. So this one, I'm going to stop now at my experience of SPD and kind of roughly what it is and why it happens and how it affects you. And then I will upload my tips and tricks and products that I've used and lifestyle changes that you can make to try and relieve your SPD in another video. Thank you very, very much for watching. If you've got any experience with SPD, then please do comment below. I love to hear from you guys, and especially if you've had similar experiences or any advice or tips and tricks for me and for anyone else watching, then yeah, it's a nice little community to share. If you liked it, please hit like. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.